kidnapping has resurfaced at levels never seen in a decade. The abductors of vice principals, a teacher and pupils of Lagos State Model College, Igonla, in a Ekpe area of Lagos State have demanded 100 million naira ransom for the victims to regain their freedom. The Lagos State Police Command has moved swiftly, deploying the Rapid Response Squad and the decoy marine team in search of the victims. Meanwhile, 9 suspects have been arrested over last week's abduction of the wife of the central bank governor, Margaret Emefiele, along Benin-Agbo Road. The suspects, who were arrested with millions of naira by officers of the intelligence response team in Edo State, Delta and Benue State, are 1 each from Delta, Benue State and 6 Fulanis. 1 more suspect has also been arrested in the kidnap of some landlords in Isheri, a border community between Lagos and Ogun State. The 37-year-old suspect, Temi Emonri, was today arrested in Lagos and confirmed to be a member of the gang that kidnapped the landlords in Isheri North. This latest arrest brings to 5 the number of suspects in police custody. Let us get an understanding of the depth of this security concern that we are up against. The security expert Wilson Isangbedo joins me on State of the Nation from our Abuja studios. I want to thank you so much indeed for coming on at this time. It's been 1 kidnap too many, especially in coastal areas in Ekpe, for example, with the kidnap of school children. And also in Isheri North, geographically speaking, located along the extensive coastal lines. I can understand how difficult that will be to man. Can this be contained, though?
I think basically what has actually happened is a reflection of the state of the economy of Nigeria at this time. A lot of individuals that who have good skills, good knowledge, that would have been deployed to useful endeavor are looking for opportunities of making easy money. And right now, as we speak, kidnapping apparently appears to be the fastest way of making money. So that's just the problem we have now at this time.
You know the terrain.
And then the kidnappers have found it so easy because kidnappers have found things so easy because many of us are actually not prepared for that crime. And most of the time, when it does happen, we are taken by surprise. So apparently what we're actually doing right now is we are reacting to that crime. The incident that happened in Ekpe is something that could have been avoided because we know what happened in Ikorodu some months back. So what we actually expected was for these security agencies to actually have a plan of action. Because this one has happened, the one at Ekpe. The question we're asking ourselves, are we likely to have more of such incidents happening? But the way to go, basically, is for us to look at organizations, look at schools that are actually at risk. And one of the things we can actually do is to do what we call a security risk assessment, and that assessment will give us an idea of organizations and schools that are actually at risk, so that the law enforcement agencies will start deploying men to actually prevent these crimes from taking place.
Permit me to come in. Permit me to come in here, my apologies. What do you suppose the security forces should be doing in a situation where a ransom is demanded? In this case, 100 million naira.
It depends on the particular security agency that is in charge. But I know basically the issue of money being paid is really not the issue. It's not really the issue. The first thing is to make sure that those that have been kidnapped are rescued alive. Because even though the policy of some of these security agencies is don't pay ransom, But even if you have to pay something to be able to get these people, and because the most important thing is for the victims to be rescued alive, and then you can now go after the kidnappers and also try and recover the money. Because there are times when the kidnappers are actually threatening the victims. The ransom could actually be paid as a bait to, first of all, to make sure the victims are rescued. That is one. And then secondly, to also ensure that, because if you pay out large sums of money, the monies can actually be traced. We actually have.
Okay, I get a sense of your direction, but let me just look at this issue a little bit more globally. Do you believe that there is an absolute need of call it a redesigning of the Nigerian police force such that it is able to effectively carry out and fight criminals? Do you believe that we need a reformation of the Nigerian police force?
For me personally, I think it goes beyond the Nigerian police force. The security agencies have their role to play. But don't forget that we're actually under police. It's not possible to have these security agents in all nooks and crannies of the country. And that is where our own orientation, that's where our own security education also comes into play on our own part. Because this is not actually the time to be laying blames on who is right or who is wrong. When you look at that particular school, from their location to where they had the lagoon or the creek was not that far. So all schools that are located not too far from the lagoon or creek should start putting in place a plan of action. They should not wait for the law enforcement agencies to come to them. They should seek help. They should work out a relationship with the law enforcement agencies so that the response time can be very fast. Because it will actually not be easy to deploy security agencies to virtually all the schools. Even if they do they have what it takes to withstand the firepower when there's an onslaught on a particular school? But what really matters now at this point in time is for schools that are at risk, for corporate organizations that are at risk, to have a plan of action. They must have a plan of action, they must have the right orientation, then they must actually educate themselves on how do they respond when they are under attack. What resources are available to them? What line of action, what plan of action are they going to put in place to ensure that they survive the attack, to ensure that there's a form of
Mr. Wilson,
of defense?
Isangbedo,
look at what happened.
I really appreciate you discussing this. I believe that we'll have another opportunity to discuss further in this. I can see how passionate you are in trying to proffer solutions to try to see that children are not abducted or kidnapped from schools, especially those by the waterside. I want to thank you so much indeed for your time and your thoughts here on State of the Nation. Of course, to you as well for being part of the show. Do remember that you can always follow us on Facebook. It's live now, and also on m.channelstv.com. That's how it's been on the program today. I'm Gimba Omar. Join me same time next week for a fresh package. Bye for now.